Live from News 9 WAOW, this is News 9 at 9. We've got you covered.
Area residents say they're paying their bills but are unsure if they'll have running water in a matter of days. Tonight, why they say the property owner is to blame and reaction from the mayor. News 9 at 9 starts right now.
Live from News 9 WAOW, this is News 9 at 9. We've got you covered.
New tonight at 9, residents of an area mobile home park say they're in danger of losing their homes, and they say it's not their fault. Thanks for joining us. I'm Catherine Halverson. News 9's Natalie Sapila joins us in the newsroom with a look at what's happening.
Residents of the Four Seasons mobile home community in Stevens Point received these notices on their door last week saying their water would be shut off this Thursday, but they say they've paid their bill.
As first reported by the Point Plover Metro Wire, the residents say the park owner is responsible for paying the bills to the utility company. But as of this afternoon, he still hasn't done that. In fact, according to emails obtained from one resident, the owner claims there was no water disconnect scheduled and that the city made a mistake. Residents confirmed with city officials it's not a mistake, and now they're at risk of having their homes condemned.
A lot of people in here are elderly and disabled. They're on fixed incomes. They don't have the resources.
Stevens Point Mayor Mike Wiesa says city officials plan to meet tomorrow to see what can be done to help the residents. But he says he's not sure how much they can do right now.
I reached out to the property owner multiple times, but did not hear back. In the newsroom, I'm Natalie Sapila, News 9 WAOW.
All right, thank you, Natalie. And new at 9, a man is dead after a farming accident in the town of Brighton. According to the Marathon County Sheriff's Department, the man reportedly fell into a TMR mixer, which is a machine meant for mixing feed for animals. It happened off of Oak Plain Road around 8 a.m. Monday. The man's identity has not yet been released. Right now, Taylor County is considered to have very high case activity and only 29.7% of residents fully vaccinated, the lowest in the state, right behind Clark County. The Medford Area Senior High School posting to Facebook saying they have worked diligently to get testing and vaccine options in the county. School officials praising the county's efforts to combat a rise in cases.
District-wide, there's probably about 150 kids quarantined, so we can break it down per building. District-wide, we have like 18 kids positive. Again, we have 2,100 kids in the district.
He adds there's a 3% case threshold set for each building, and once that's reached, mandatory masking would begin in the building that next day. Going on to say efforts like this and a push to increase vaccination efforts by the county can collectively help lower the spread. And as COVID-19 cases continue to increase in Oneida County, Rhinelander High School is introducing a new testing site. Through the DHS, the mobile testing unit will be available at the Hodag Dome every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday starting tomorrow from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Health officials say it's critical that students and staff, as well as their family members, take advantage of this opportunity.
A strong testing program, along with other layered prevention strategies, will really help prevent the spread of COVID infection, as well as support a healthy learning environment within our school and in our community.
And she says it's especially important now as Oneida County is in the high transmission level, according to the DHS. Testing is free, but some pre-registration is required. That information can be found on our website. Well, a cloudy, gloomy day, Jackson. Even a bit chilly, a sure sign fall weather has arrived.
Yeah, well, we had a little bit of sunshine in the afternoon, so it wasn't all bad, but it definitely felt like fall today. However, it's not going to be fall until tomorrow afternoon, actually. So tomorrow is the first day of fall, but we'll have to wait till the afternoon, and we'll break that down in Maine weather. Otherwise, we take a look at the Midwest. You can see just how cool it was compared to this map a couple of days ago. We saw 80s and 90s. Now we're seeing many 60-degree readings, especially here in Wisconsin. Temperatures generally just below 70 for today. Now our current temperatures have dropped drastically across the area. You can already see 52 in Medford, 46 in Merrill, 47 in Phillips. So much cooler up in the Northwoods, and that will be the case tonight. With clearing conditions, it's definitely going to get quite chilly. In fact, not in our area, but just off to our north and west, a frost advisory has been issued, and there could be some patchy frost by tomorrow morning in areas of the Northwoods. So keep that in mind moving forward. It could be getting a little bit frosty in the upcoming forecast. Tonight's overnight low, 41 degrees, becoming clear, northwest to north winds of 2 to 6 miles an hour. The average for this time, 47. And as far as what we're tracking, well, a nice but cool start to fall tomorrow. There should be plenty of sunshine, a bit of frost possible in the 7-day forecast here as well. And then great Sunday through Monday, we'll have temperatures jumping back into the 70s. We've got that full forecast coming up in about 15 minutes.
All right, thank you, Jackson. Well, new at 9, researchers with UW-Madison are looking for farmers to participate in a research study on the effectiveness of cover crops. Cover crops prevent harmful runoff and improve soil health. Farmers who sign up for the study will be asked to complete a survey and will then perform a self-assessment of their farm or have a professional come out to help. Researchers say it will help them to make better recommendations for farmers who want to implement cover crops of their own.
This is a way to get farmers engaged in peer-to-peer scientific learning, get them engaged in localized research projects, and involved in the community.
The deadline to sign up is October 1st. We'll have more information on our website, WAOW.com. Area county clerks are being asked to take part in an election investigation, and some tell News 9 they don't think much of it. This investigation is being led by former state Supreme Court Justice Mike Gableman, saying he's looking for, quote, truth over bias. State Speaker Robin Vos is also involved and has the power to issue subpoenas. Gableman says the investigation is merely to get a closer look at what happened, not to dispute any results.
This is not an election contest. We are not challenging the results of the 2020 election. Rather, we are holding government officials accountable to the public for their actions surrounding the elections.
The Lincoln County Clerk says he is willing to comply with the investigation, saying they have nothing to hide.
As far as making him aware of any evidence that was destroyed or whatever, I mean, come on, we're not going to be destroying any evidence, not here in Lincoln County.
He also adds the investigation feels targeted and does not anticipate any problems with Lincoln County as a result. It's said to be completed sometime this fall. Well, a heated exchange on Capitol Hill today, Wisconsin Republican Senator Ron Johnson grilling DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas over the border crisis.
Of the 1.3 million people that we've apprehended, how many people have been returned, how many people are being detained, and how many people have been dispersed? And I want some numbers here.
Senator, I would be pleased to provide you with that data.
I want them now. Why don't you have that information now?
The exchange comes a day after the DHS secretary visited the Texas border city of Del Rio, where thousands of Haitian migrants crossed into the U.S. and set up camp. Still ahead, an area business is celebrating 75 years in Wausau. We'll take a look at what's kept them going. Plus, a Wausau woman accused of killing an infant will stand trial tonight. Why she's now changing her plea.
Visit Miller's Home Furnishing of Merrill for the best variety of Lazy Boy recliners. From recliners to reclining sofas, Lazy Boy is synonymous with comfort and quality. Free delivery, free removal, and the best pricing makes Miller's Home Furnishing of Merrill just plain smart.
So why use Toyota Service Centers?
Well, you wouldn't use just any carpenter, would you?
This thing working? No.
Keep your Toyota a Toyota. Right now, for a limited time, when you buy 3 tires, get the 4th for just $1. Visit your local Toyota dealer today to learn more. Toyota, let's go places.
It's back and beefier than ever. Beefarama, Saturday, September 25th in downtown Minocqua. Beef roast competitions, 10K and 5K runs, live music, and Prime Choice Craft Show. Join in on the one-of-a-kind fun you can only find in the Northwoods. Beefarama, Saturday, September 25th.
Precision Body and Frame. Collision, decision, precision. Collision. Just when you least expect it, an accident from out of the blue. Decision. Where are you going to go to get your car put back to new? Precision Body and Frame. The quality's in our name. Collision, decision, precision.
Let's take a look out at Marshfield right now.
See your hometown weather from a brand new view with the Marshfield Children's Hospital Weather Cam. Sponsored by Marshfield Children's Hospital. Watch Storm Track 9's Justin Lowe, only on WAOW.
Miller's Home Furnishings has your comfort needs with Restonic mattresses. Choose from 14 two-sided mattress models by Restonic. Queen-size mattresses starting at $4.99. Made proudly in the Midwest. Miller's Home Furnishings in Merrill. We have something for everyone.
Welcome back. A Wausau babysitter accused of killing an infant is found competent to stand trial. Marissa Teetsort is accused of killing a 2-month-old baby she was babysitting at the time. Today in court, a competency report was given by a doctor finding her fit for trial. However, her attorney says she wants to change her plea from not guilty to not guilty by reason of insanity. Teetsort will be back in court in late October. 6 Native American tribes are suing Wisconsin to try to stop the state's November wolf hunt. They say the hunt violates their treaty rights and endangers an animal they consider sacred. The Chippewa tribe says treaties give them the rights to protect half of the wolf quota in territory that they ceded to the United States in the 1800s. Hunters blew past their 119 animal limit during a hunt in February, killing 218 wolves in just 4 days. And in a statement, tribal representatives said in part, quote, "The Ojibwe understand that a healthy wolf population is critical to a healthy ecosystem. The state trampled the tribe's rights, and we are in court today to try to make sure it doesn't happen again." Now for the latest on the possible sale of the Verso paper mill in Wisconsin Rapids. Today, the company says it's entered into a confidentiality agreement with Atlas Holdings. Atlas has made an offer to buy the mill for $20 per share. But Verso says that offer must, quote, meaningfully increase. Verso says its new confidentiality agreement allows discussions to continue. And Verso's Wisconsin Rapids mill began operations back in 1904 as Consolidated Paper. In July of 2020, more than 900 workers were laid off when it shut its doors. Right now, about 110 workers remain at the factory. The facility is capable of producing more than 370,000 tons of paper per year. Well, Colby Windows and Doors in Wausau is celebrating 75 years in business after first opening their doors in 1946. The business was started by brothers Herb and Irvin Colby and has grown exponentially throughout the years. Like most, they faced difficulties during the pandemic, but were able to keep their doors open. Today, thanking their employees for their hard work, and they are what has kept them going for over 7 decades. One area elementary school with just over 100 students is receiving national recognition. Hatley Elementary School has been named a Blue Ribbon School. That award is a nationwide recognition for overall academic performance and progress in closing achievement gaps among students, something the district says has been a top priority to hold all students to a high standard.
So all of our subgroups have been performing well in that category. So students with disabilities, students that are economically disadvantaged, all of our groups are performing very well at Hatley, and we're really proud of that.
Congratulations. Hatley was one of 9 schools to receive the award in the Badger State. We're taking a live look outside. Fall air is definitely moving in. Meteorologist Jackson Garlock has your full forecast when we return.
Mader Law Firm, your lawyers for the injured. MaderLaw.com.
Navigating through retirement can be difficult, but you don't have to face it alone. Join the team from Bushka Retirement Solutions and Bushka Wealth Management every week on Financially Speaking, where they discuss important topics like taxes, 401ks, financial plans, health insurance, and Medicare, making them less complex so you can address them with more clarity. Help build your financial future by tuning in each week to Financially Speaking.
Tune in this Sunday at 10 a.m. on WAOW TV 9.
Menards has everything you need to light your home. Keep your home well lit with Sylvania's LED True Wave natural light bulbs. Bring out the positive feelings of happiness, relaxation, and warmth while reducing eye strain and improving the sleep cycle. Over 100 True Wave bulbs are 11% off. Enhance your viewing experience and reduce eye strain with this extreme multicolored LED tape light. Or $34 after 11% rebate. Save 11% on everything at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
It's not every day when it's a Merry Maid's Day. So, what are you walking into? I mean, nice work. Call Merry Maids, then relax. It's done.
At Car Buffs, we clean inside and out and professionally towel dry every car. Put your vehicle in the hands of our clean car care professionals with a Car Buffs full-service car wash. At Car Buffs, we've got it handled for you. Car Buffs, Rib Mountain. When clean just isn't enough, visit Car Buffs for a full-service Mobil 1 Lube Express oil change. At Car Buffs, we service all makes and models, and you never need an appointment. At Car Buffs, we've got it handled for you. Car Buffs, Rib Mountain.
Now, your Storm Track 9 weather.
Jackson, summer is officially coming to an end, and it definitely feels that way outside, too.
Yeah, tomorrow's the first day of the fall season, and don't worry, it's not going to be fall in the morning. It'll have to be the afternoon when it turns into fall. So officially, it's not fall until 2:21 p.m. So if you're out there at 2:20, might still feel like summer, but once it hits 2:21, it's definitely fall. So maybe that's when you want to get your pumpkin spice latte to kick it all off. So let's take a look at what we were at today. Definitely felt like fall out there. Temperatures in the mid-60s into the upper 60s across the area. Rhinelander at 65. Ironwood a little bit cooler at 62. We topped out near 67 in Wisconsin Dells. So it was a fairly fall day today. Let's take a look at our Wausau high tracker here. As you can see, we will mainly be in the 60s for much of the forecast here. Does gradually warm as we move from Sunday into Monday. I actually have a couple 70s in the forecast, but for the most part, it's going to be fairly cool in the upcoming stretch, and the overnight lows will also be much cooler as well. So let's take a look at our current temperatures. Temperatures already dropping quite quickly, as we can see out there. 54 still in the city of Wausau, but up north it gets much cooler. 44 in Merrill, 46 in Rhinelander, and we're expecting a possibility of a little bit of patchy frost tonight for the Northwoods. So here's our current wind speeds. They're from the north mainly, or mainly calm in fact, but the northerly winds are likely going to bring a little bit more cool air into the state. As we can see, tonight's overnight low drops to around 41 degrees here in the city of Wausau, but if you take a look there, will be becoming clear, and that means the Northwoods will likely be sitting in the 30s with northwest to north winds of 2 to 6 miles an hour. That brings a frost advisory, not in our area quite yet, but to the northwest there is that frost advisory until 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. That means there could be a little bit of patchy frost up in the Northwoods, so just keep that in mind moving forward. Our hometown forecast for tomorrow looks like we're going to have at least partly cloudy skies, but I'm expecting a little bit more sunshine than clouds, so not too bad, though still will remain on the cooler side. We're expecting near 62 in Rhinelander, 63 in Tomahawk, near 64 in Wausau, so it will be a cooler day to start our fall, but that's not too bad. We're expecting 65 in Whiting as well as 67 in Adams and likely near 67 in Wisconsin Dells as well. It should be partly sunny, or at least mostly sunny by the afternoon, and cool with north winds of 5 to 15. Now our rain chances moving forward, we have high pressure in the area for right now, but we could have a few showers on Friday and Saturday. We're not looking at a ton of rain, but there is that chance for a few showers and no thunderstorms. As we take a look at our 7-day precipitation estimate, you're really not seeing too much rainfall expected. We are expecting some rainfall that'll likely be Friday night into Saturday morning. So here's what's going on right now from our satellite and radar picture. You can see high pressure off to our west, a low pressure system off to our east, and that's bringing plenty of rainfall off to our east, especially in Michigan. But we're not going to be seeing any of that, and you can tell that from our future track forecast. We'll be filtering between sunshine and clouds for the next few days, and that low pressure system bringing plenty of rainfall, maybe a little bit on the eastern side as we move forward, but otherwise we're looking fairly dry for the next couple of days. And you can see that system just sits there off to our east with clear skies sitting in our area for the time being. On Thursday, once again, there could be a spotty shower on the very eastern side of the state due to the low pressure gradually climbing, but otherwise we're looking at a very dry forecast until at least Friday night. So here's a 7-day forecast. Some patchy frost possible. Once again, much cooler weather in the 60s. Not going to be too bad. It'll be nice and sunny for the next couple of days, at least for most of the day. A 30% chance of rain Friday, as well as a 30% chance on Saturday. Will be fairly cool, near 62. And then we warm up. The start of next week, we'll be sitting back in the 70s.
All right, thank you, Jackson. Well, tonight, 3 people are dead following a car crash in Waushara County. Authorities say they were going around a curve near Badger Road when they drove into a ditch and went airborne. All 3 were killed. Speed is believed to be a factor, but the crash remains under investigation. No deaths and fewer injuries were reported in this year's Tomahawk Fall Ride. Overall, Lincoln County Sheriff's Office says people navigated the road safely, and they credit the public for being more aware of their surroundings.
people understand that we get more people here, and I believe that the motoring public is aware of the surroundings and what's going on. I think awareness has increased quite a bit.
He also adds the department will continue to have an increased presence at all future rides. Beginning next year, FedEx will raise its shipping rates. These hikes apply to all U.S. domestic and U.S. export and import services. Home delivery is expected to go up nearly 6%, while freight customers may see an increase of almost 8%. FedEx customers might also see a price increase before the holiday season. Starting November 1st, a fuel surcharge will be added to certain shipments. And Google is expanding its presence in New York. The tech company is buying a $2 billion office building in Manhattan. Though Google is still embracing a hybrid work model, the company sees this building to accommodate its 12,000 employees in the city. This marking the largest building sale in the U.S. since the pandemic started. The new office space is set to open in 2023. Up next, thousands of dollars raised for a Navy veteran after a TikTok video on his broken scooter goes viral. Stay with us. You're watching News 9 at 9.
I am blind, but I need not see. I know this road is there for me.
Homestead on 52 is under new ownership and locally owned. Stop in for our daily food and drink specials, see live bands weekly, or reserve our banquet hall for your next life event. Visit our Facebook page for more details and see you soon at Homestead on 52.
Welcome to today's Elite Money Minute with the Elite Advisor Team.
Hey, would you look at this checklist guy over here? He's got checklists for everything.
Hey, it sure seems like it, but it is nice to have them sometimes to make sure nothing is forgotten.
When we were in Scouts, we learned the value of a checklist. You know, be prepared. I remember when I was a leader in Scouts, those first-year Scouts, they thought they knew everything. And they would show up for a camp out, and they would forget stuff from a toothbrush all the way to a tent. As experienced Scouters, our job was helping them avoid the pitfalls of forgetting things. The good news was, for those who did, we always had extras to make sure their weekends weren't ruined. Being prepared and learning from an experienced leader is an important thing. That's why we created the M&M Retirement Roadmap. You can say that it helps make your retirement dreams a reality.
If you have been looking for an experienced team to lead you through your retirement, give our office a call at 1-800-469-2040.
That's today's Elite Money Minute.
Hope to see you soon. Now let's head out to the campsite.
Weinbrenner Shoe Company has been manufacturing Thorogood footwear and developing careers right here in central Wisconsin for 130 years. And we are expanding. Weinbrenner offers on-the-job training, family-friendly hours, and a safe environment with unlimited growth potential. Join our team and produce some of the last made-in-USA footwear in the world. Learn more by visiting WeinbrennerUSA.com, an equal opportunity employer.
Homestead on 52 is under new ownership and locally owned. Stop in for our daily food and drink specials, see live bands weekly, or reserve our banquet hall for your next life event. Visit our Facebook page for more details and see you soon at Homestead on 52.
Aaron Rodgers returned to his MVP form in the Packers' Monday night matchup with the Lions. Is it too soon to call them Super Bowl contenders? I don't know, but in Week 1, Rodgers ranks dead last with a completion percentage of just 53. But a different version of 12 showed up last night on 3rd and 12 during the Packers' first drive of the second half. Rodgers whipped a picture-perfect 50-yard bomb to wide receiver Davante Adams. 2 plays later, the quarterback threaded another unbelievable one to tight end Robert Tonyan for 22-yard score.
He attracts attention. Davante had one-on-one in the corner when they rolled the coverage, and he did a nice job of getting outside the corner, and I just tried to put him in a good spot. We were a little bit downwind, and when I actually initially threw it, I felt like I missed him, overthrew him, but he did a great job running underneath it and making it look easy. We had a couple of nice screens to Bobby, and Davante did his thing, made some amazing catches and great yards after the catch, and then obviously Jones had a big night.
A Navy veteran recently became a star on TikTok, surpassing 660,000 followers, all because even at nearly 80, he's still serving. Not actively serving in the military, but serving others out of a sense of compassion. And his good deeds came back to him in a big way.
If you're wondering how a 79-year-old Navy vet on a scooter became TikTok's hottest new account, consider it a sign.
I'm a co-founder for a channel called Did You Know That? And we make educational videos for the deaf community that are fun and engaging.
Amanda Klein's neighbor Kenny Jerry isn't deaf and didn't know much about TikTok, but is fun and engaging.
He started learning some sign language, you know, like yes. And
yes, and coffee, you know.
What other ones do you know? You know,
oh, yeah.
Famous.
Famous, yes.
His famous turn began just a week after his TikTok debut, when his beloved scooter broke down.
Sad about the scooter?
Until 650,000 followers showed up.
I just posted it, really honestly thinking, if we got lucky, maybe he'd get like $100 off a scooter or something.
Within hours, the TikTok community raised $5,000.
No, you're kidding.
And it has just taken off. People love Kenny. I mean, why not? I do too.
And the love has just kept coming.
They've given you $45,000.
Kenny's GoFundMe has now surpassed $90,000. And counting.
I didn't think I'd get $1,000. You know? And look what happened. Famous, you know. I'm so honored, you know. And my angels took care of me. They did. And now I got angels here, good angels that take care of me.
Oh, too cute not to share. And I actually read that he's going to take care of other veterans with that money as well, Jackson.
That's a great story to end our broadcast here, but we do have to take one last look at the forecast here as we enter into our fall season. Let's take a look here. 64 degrees tomorrow, so we'll be on the cooler spell, as well as a chance for some patchy morning frost, especially in the Northwoods. But take a look at that. Mostly sunny. Won't be too bad for our first day of fall. Thursday, going to have a few more filtering clouds, otherwise a high of 66. Another day we could have some possible frost. Friday and Saturday have a small chance of rain, but overall won't be too bad. And we do warm up into next week. Likely going to see a few 70s.
All right, fall is upon us. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you for News 9 at 10 over on ABC. Have a great evening.
Hi, I'm Eric Pease from the law office of Bartels and Pease in Wausau. We are proud to sponsor closed captioning on News 9 WAOW.
Well, let's take a look at the scene this morning.
See your weather from a bird's eye view from the Covantage Credit Union Weather Cam. You step into cash at Covantage Credit Union.
When you want to complete